I'm Jason Andrews, CEO of Orbite. Super excited to be here on this historic day. We set this up a little bit ago, and as it turns out, humans are flying behind the moon as we speak. It hasn't happened in 54 years. They're in radio blackout. So there's a lot of people watching NASA, and we're talking about space, which I think is totally appropriate. But Pam, maybe just introduce yourself, talk a little bit about your background, where you came from, and how we came to this moment of you and I having this conversation about your passion for space and want to become the first hospice space patient in space.
Yes, it's just amazing for me to even be talking to you at this moment. I grew up in a very small town in Illinois, just a little over 2,000 people. So for me to be sitting here talking about the moon and space is just almost surreal. I have been working in Napa for a number of years, for over 20 years, and I've been in the wine business here. But in the past, what ended up happening with me is I went to an expedition in the Galapagos, and I was with some amazing people, some famous people, people that had stories like I couldn't believe I was in the same room with them, like with William Shatner and Neil Tyson and just Kathy Sullivan and many others, that Charlie Duke, people that he walked on the moon, for gosh sakes. And so I made the comment at that point, wouldn't it be amazing if I could be the first hospice patient in space? And all of a sudden there was energy around it. And someone said I work with Blue Origin, someone said I work with Virgin Galactic, someone said I work with SpaceX. And the next thing I know, it's taken on a life of its own. But as I look back on my life, there must have been something that this has always been a mission for me, because even as a child, I watched everything. I read everything about Apollo. I watched everything I could watch. I went to Cape Canaveral a number of times. I took my children to Huntsville to space camp. I went and watched when the shuttle flew over the Golden Gate Bridge. All those things have happened in my life that you kind of don't think about at the time. Maybe it wasn't a passion, but the interest was there. There was something inside of me that kept drawing me in. And when I said this about being the first hospice patient in space, the energy that happened there was just amazing, because you can't really talk about hospice in a positive way. And that's not true. You should be able to, because hospice has given me the comfort to talk about space, to talk about all these opportunities that are coming out for people like myself, to do astronaut training with you. All these things have just been amazing and exciting at the same time.
I guess one of the questions that everyone's gonna wonder and ask is that you're in hospice, and you don't have to talk about this if you don't want, but like,
That's
what is
okay.
your diagnosis that put you there in the first place?
Okay. So I have been diagnosed with a very rare condition. I think that one physician has told me there's only 10,000 people known worldwide to have this condition. And it's called PXE, pseudoxanthoma elasticum. And what it does is it causes all my arteries to get brittle, and I produce a lot of calcium. So my arteries right now are blocking with, most people's arteries block with cholesterol, nice, soft something. Mine are blocking with calcium. So what happens is the arteries get really brittle, and if they don't break, they clog up. So currently, the artery to my stomach is 100% blocked, and the artery to my mesentery is in the high 80s. The interesting thing about my diagnosis is I feel just like you or anyone else. I We don't, because it's so rare, we don't know how long this might take. We know how long the one took, but this one is moving slower. So I feel like I'm like everyone else. We don't know when our last day is going to be. I feel like I don't know when mine is. And so that, has opened up a whole new life for me in a way, because I've kind of stopped thinking about the end being near, and thinking about living and exploring and experiencing.
So this opportunity to be the first hospice patient in space, what does it personally represent to you? Is it freedom, wonder, legacy, something else, showing the world what is possible? What are your thoughts?
I think you nailed it. It's right, of the above. It's given me the hospice has given me the freedom to talk and talk to all of you, to have these opportunities, to go to Virgin Galactic, to come to France, to do things that I never thought possible. Be, and you tend in life to not do those things because you've got everything else going on. Well, with being on hospice and knowing that my comfort care, the pain level is under control, that there's somebody there all the time if I need them, that I can almost forget about that part and focus on all the positive things that are happening right now. Sure. Do I want to make my children proud of me? Absolutely. But that's not the goal. Is to let people know. I want to bring good feelings to hospice and space. I want people to know that the minute you have decided that there's nothing else that you can do, that you're terminal, the sooner you get on hospice, the more life you're going to live. And I want people to know that how much you and all the space people are trying to get just regular human beings to have the experience of space. And those are the two things. I feel like that's my mission right now, is to share those two things, to bring a positive light on both of those things.
One of the questions that we get, because human spaceflight is a new, most people don't realize it's something they can do. And so there's a two-step phase. One, you have to understand, well, I can do it. And then the second thing is why now? The in life, so many times we put things off waiting for something. And you may have a unique perspective about time. And what would A, how do you think about it? And B, what would your advice be to everyone else?
If you have an opportunity, you seize it. I think that that's one thing. It's just, so often, if I look back on that expedition that I went on to the Galapagos, I had just spent a month in Italy because I'm on hospice. Let's go to Italy. And while I was there, I got the call about the expedition. If I would have not been on hospice, I would have said, I can't go. It's 10 days from when I get home. I just spent a lot of money. I can't do this. Because I'm on hospice, it gives me that comfort and opportunity to just do it. Say, I'm on hospice. Let's do it. Let's go. And my husband's right there behind me. He's like, you're right. And we all should be thinking a little more like that. But, it's hard. You get in this, I know everybody calls it the rat race, but you get in all these things that you have to do, and you really kind of forget about living. And I think that's one thing that hospice does. It reminds you, hey, we have time. We all have time. We all have a certain amount of time, and none of us know how much that is. So, if when things happen like this, and it's becoming more and more available to normal people rather than just the billionaires that everyone tends to think. And that's another big message that I want to let people know, and how generous and open the space industry has been to this dream that I have. This actually it's more of a mission. I'm on a mission now to bring goodwill to hospice, for hospice patients and their families, and all the space agencies that are out there trying to get people to experience their dream and see the world from space.
Talk more about the space industry and your most recent journey. So you had this amazing experience um, with Daniel Fox and his team, and you came back going, I can do this. And talk about what happened next, who you reached out to, what conversations you had. Obviously, there's the Orbite angle, which we can talk about, but talk about the other conversations you've had first.
Okay. The first thing that happened as soon as I said, I'd like to be the first hospice patient in space, the first thing was a person sitting next to me said, well, I have connections with Blue Origin. And the person on the other side said, I have connections with Virgin Galactic. And before I left the expedition, I had signed an NDA with Blue Origin. So things happened so quickly and so rapidly. And then I started getting emails from all the other places and tomorrow I'm flying to New Mexico to visit the facility with Virgin Galactic in New Mexico. So I'm so excited to do that as well because it's given me the opportunity to do things with different space agencies or different space companies um, to keep my story out there, to keep being able to share the story through maybe their eyes each time, what this means to them and what it means to me. So I think it's a positive thing, hopefully for everyone involved.
Obviously, going to space is not cheap, and um, engaging in astronaut training, working to potentially fly with Virgin Galactic or Blue Origin. Um, what what do you need from the community? I know you're starting to GoFundMe. Maybe talk a little bit about what your goals and objectives are.
One of the things that has happened is that people have been so excited about the story that everywhere I turn, I'm having an interview on a radio station, or I had a video ographer come and they did this large video of me, and they're doing all these things, but as I mentioned, I'm from a small town. I don't know anything about these things. Um, but one of the things that I found out is there's certain steps along the way to get certain areas of publicity, if you will, to share your story. And one thing that had to happen, it couldn't, they wanted to take it straight to the television community. It's gone to a lot of the newspapers. It's gone to the Post. It's gone to MSN. It's gone to a lot of local papers, but they couldn't get it to the television community before there was a GoFundMe set up. And I don't even know anything about GoFundMe's to start with. So I knew that that was out of my realm. But what had to happen was the reason that is because once this hits the television, they want, people want to be able then to support something they believe in. And so without a way for them to support with just my story, it wasn't something that they could take and do. So they needed something that can help me make that dream come true and help others along the way as well.
What do you hope? I mean, you're an inspiration. Your energy, your how you come across. No one would know you're a hospice patient. And so, what do you hope other hospice patients or seriously ill people take from your story?
Actually, what I hope they take from my story about hospice is it's not a bad word. I've heard that. Someone told me the H word's not allowed in our house. If if I wouldn't if I wouldn't have got on hospice when I did, I wouldn't be here doing all these things today. And that doesn't mean that I would already have passed away. It just means that I wouldn't have the comfort to do these things. Um, it has just, I hope that hospice patients will realize that this will give them the opportunity to keep on living. And otherwise, it will give your spouse or your caregiver the relaxation as well. The trauma that it takes off of us, not going to the doctor appointment every day, not ending up in the emergency room every other day, not having to go to the drugstore 5 times a week. All those things are taken care of for you. They come to you. They come to your home, and that's what they do for you. And then that's given me the opportunity to then explore all of these space opportunities and to let people know it might not be space that you're interested in, but hospice will give you the opportunity to go for those things. So I think that, if space is the goal, there are so many opportunities out there for you. I'm finding out more every day.
So follow-up question to that is, has your sense of what's possible shifted since your diagnosis? And if so, how?
I don't know if my focus has shifted. I think that I grew up. I think the most positive thing that my parents ever taught me was what's the worst that can happen is that somebody's going to say no. And I think I have lived that my whole life, and now even more so, because, you know, when people are reaching out, I'm not afraid to take the call. I'm not afraid. I'm telling everyone, if you want to interview me, if you want to do this, yes, I'm there. I want to share the story. I'll do anything anyone says. Just tell me what you need. I'm here for you. I'm willing to share. I want to share this with as many people as I can because it's what I have left. It's my mission to see if I can make a difference just in some shape with both hospice and with space. You know, who would in some ways people don't really think that there's any way imaginable that they can go to space. I know that you're having this amazing opportunity with Orbite, and I think that that's so amazing. But people don't know that it's available. People aren't aware because they think everyone thinks it's for billionaires only because that's all we ever see on the news. And from
And
whatever it is, it's that's all it's for, and it's not. And I'm realizing that more every day.
no, you're absolutely right, and that's why we exist is really to educate people, build this pipeline so that people are aware that they can fly to space. They see a path and a roadmap for how they can work from smaller experiences to bigger experiences and where it goes from there. I mean, to that end, let's talk about your journey with Orbit. You're coming to our astronaut orientation program, which is going to be held in Bordeaux in September, the 21st to the 25th. Well, you will get to uh, learn about preparing for going to space, experiencing multiple space flight opportunities using virtual reality, do a zero-G flight, do a high-G flight. It's going to be a very dynamic time. What of that excites you? And maybe what of that do you have some trepidation about?
I have no trepidation. Maybe that's what's freed me up being on hospice. I don't know, but I cannot wait. I think I'm going to enjoy every single moment. And I think that one thing that's so interesting is, if you were to go on one of the flights with Blue Origin or Virgin Galactic or SpaceX, they have a little 2 or 3 day training thing because really you're just, going up and coming down.
Mhm.
But the thing that's so exciting with Orbite is that you can go and you can actually do these things and see what it actually feels like. If you maybe never get to space, this is still something you can do to be a part of that dream that you might have. And I think that September just can't get here fast enough for me.
Well,
I want to
let's.
tell you one thing
Right.
though.
Yep.
I I love my hat, but it's a little big.
So I got to find a smaller hat. I know someone
What
who solved that
this
problem.
is where it fits on my ears. The only reason it stays up is because of my glasses. If you want to use this, you can use that image too.
Yeah, we got to find a better hat for you.
No,
Okay, we're on.
I just thought I'd share it with you. I'm like, oh, this is such a great hat. And put it on and I couldn't see.
I'm getting onto our swag group right now. Send him a message.
No,
Pam
but
needs a smaller hat.
for your future, for your future.
We need more than one size. We need something adjustable.
Yeah,
That's the
that's probably
problem. We
that's
actually
that
are
I think
coming up
that's
with
the
new
only
stuff.
it,
Yeah.
they're really nice, but because they aren't adjustable, that's what. But
Okay.
I realized when I put it on, my glasses stopped it, so I had to show you with a true way.
I'm going to show everybody that little clip. We'll
Okay,
have to
all
figure
right.
out how to edit it. Okay. Um,
Show your merchandiser people.
I know. Well, Pim, I don't have anything else. Like I said,
Okay,
it is a truly historic moment right now
it
in the
is.
world
It
of
is
space
such,
flight. Yeah.
and that makes it even seem more that it's meant to be.
Yeah,
You
it
know?
does. And we're excited about Starship upcoming test flight. We'll keep you posted and we look forward to seeing you here in Cape Canaveral in a few weeks.
No, so great. Sounds great. And thank you
Safe
for
travels. I
everything.
want to hear all about Virgin Galactic.
I will tell you all I'm allowed.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you, Jason.
you take care.
All right.
Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.